the Radio Times magazine, that is, she said this: "Unfortunately, as a woman and a woman of colour, if you speak up, often it's considered being difficult or being a nuisance. Whereas I know from experience that if I was a man, they'd be like, oh, you know what he's like." So tonight, I'm asking, is she right? Going head-to-head on this, Aisha Ali Khan, teacher and human rights campaigner, Chris Rose. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Aisha, lovely to see you again. Is Nadiya Hussain right? Is the BBC or others got a bias because of women of colour?
I think definitely. I think there have been so many reports in the past accusing the BBC of institutional racism. People of colour have complained about being overlooked for promotions, for senior positions, having to justify why they're interested in a story, and just platforming brown and black voices. So I think, given what Nadiya has said, I mean, she has been talking about this for some time now, and we obviously get more and more details each time she speaks. For example, she first obviously said that she'd been let go because she was a woman who was opinionated, who spoke out, and she had different ideas. She was expected to look a particular way, and the fact, though, in the manner in which she was let go, there wasn't a discussion. It was just goodbye, see ya. And I think she's complained about just the fact that she was successful. She had great viewing figures. She fronted a number of shows, which I have seen myself, and I've enjoyed her shows. And it just doesn't really make sense why she'd been let go by the BBC. And I think she, even now to this day, she talks about the fact there was no discussion. There was just, conversation about, where that's it, where it's over now. Thank you, bye.
Oh,
and I think that's another, she's not happy with that.
Well, I mean, I'll just preface this and say, TV's a brutal industry. It really is. Media in general is brutal. 1 minute you're in, next minute you're out. There's been loads of different TV stars over the years. Some have come and gone. It just feels to me, Chris, that she had her time in the spotlight. She had a very good career. I'm sure she did all right for herself as well. And I just think that sometimes there's a kind of like this constant state of victimhood over things that just happen to be maybe her viewing figures weren't doing so well. We'll never know, will we? What do you think, Chris?
To say, because I disagree. I mean, I find her attitude quite obnoxious, to be honest with you, because I do feel she was gifted opportunities which most people in the country could only dream of. The BBC as well, they love diversity. She was a Bangladeshi woman wearing a hijab. They love her. And I feel like they offered her so many opportunities. They give her millions in sponsorships, multiple shows. And after all that, she's finally saying that she was dropped because she was a woman of colour. And to me, it just doesn't really make sense, particularly from the BBC, who, I can't even name another finalist from the Bake Off. And I actually watched the Bake Off as well. She's the only one that I can really remember. So for her to say that she's, being mistreated by the BBC, when in actual fact, she's been given more of a platform than any other finalist and any other winner has been given from the Bake Off. Yeah. So I do think she's doing this victimhood on purpose. And I personally don't really buy into it at all. I think, it's fake, and I think she's just doing it just to compensate for something else that's happened behind the background, such as viewing figures that may have dropped. Because after 10 years, things can start to go stale. They may want to change things. It's not unusual for them to think, oh, we're going to change the host, or you want somebody new. It's not a personal attack on her race or religion at all. I think she just needs to accept that the BBC perhaps just wants to move on.